Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, that answers all your stock related queries. Top market experts join in on this show to help you understand what should your strategy be in your own portfolio. So in case you have any doubts about any of the stocks in your existing portfolio or for the new year you want to add on any stocks, well, do that after taking the advice from top market experts. The WhatsApp number is flashing on your screens. You can send me all your questions right here. Don't forget to mention your name, your location and your contact details so that we can also give you an opportunity to speak directly to the top guests who come on our channel as well. Let me now introduce to you our guest on the show. We have Sneha Podar, Vice President, Research Analyst, BND at Motilal Oswal Financial Services. Warm welcome to you, Sneha. So good to have you with us, and here's wishing you a fantastic New Year 2025. Well, we started on a promising note as far as the markets are concerned. A buoyancy was seen in the last 2 days. Today, it's absolutely flattened out. But what's the expectation on how the markets are going from here?
Sakshi, and a happy new year to you and all the
Thank you.
viewers. So basically, we started 2025 on a very positive note, as you mentioned, and we are seeing some sort of short covering rally in the large cap. But having said that, going ahead, since there are lack of triggers in the market, all ambiguity will be there once the Trump swearing in happens on 21st of Jan, and then post that the budget event is there. So these two events are the major events which will actually provide us a true direction in the market. Till then, with the earning season starting next year, so there'll be a lot of volatility which we'll keep on witnessing in the market. But the market will largely move in a broader range rather than actually giving movement in a particular direction. So the direction will come post the two major events, as I mentioned, is played out. Probably post then we'll get a clarity as to where we are actually headed.
Okay, got that. So that's the view as far as the markets are concerned. We already have a lot of questions that are coming in from our viewers, Neha. We will be starting off by taking all their questions now. But let me welcome our viewers who have joined in early. We have Imtiaz Ahmed, Kamlesh Narkhere, Rudransh Bharadwaj, Ankur Modi, Satya, all of them joining in. Warm welcome to all of you also who are joining in right in the early show. And we also have some WhatsApp call messages and calls also coming in and lined up. So we'll start taking up all of your questions. So stay tuned for your and wait for your turn to come in. Imtiaz Ahmed's first question we will take. His question is on SJBN and on Suzlon. He has SJBN shares at 120 levels and Suzlon shares at 76. Now he wants to know what is the outlook on both. Since both of these are from the renewable energy and the power space, what would you really say, SJBN and Suzlon? What do you think can continue to give good profits?
Okay. SGVN, I'm not really sure. I mean, we do not actually cover it also, and
Okay.
somehow we are not very comfortable with that name. But then Suzlon, also we don't cover. But then I can say, a lot of business transformation has been seen in that company. They've actually turned around the entire business and managed to become debt free. And the kind of work which they are doing in the wind energy space is really commendable. So they've actually built up a very good portfolio, and a lot of investments is planned up in the near future as well to further scale up the portfolio. So given the kind of focus that the government has on the renewable energy side, I believe Suzlon is one stock which I would prefer to keep in my portfolio and hold on from a long term perspective.
Okay, got that. So there you have it on the renewable energy space on Suzlon, what your ideas should be and strategy should be. We'll take the next question. This is from our WhatsApp number that we've got. This is Mr. Chandan Jain writing in from Hubli in Karnataka. He wants to know on Orient Tech. He has the stock at the rate of 206. Now he wants to know, should he continue to hold on his position or book profits at the current levels. Currently the stock is trading at 537. Today there is a sharp rally, 9.5% higher. Volumes are pretty strong on this one as well, and his entry price was just at 206. So Chandan, first up, congratulations on getting an early entry and making the most of this rally. What would you say, Sneha, to him now? Still higher returns could be seen going forward. Can he hold on to make more profits, or should he book out partially?
Okay. Partly the profit booking can be done, but it's in a promising space. It's into the cloud, basically cloud services, which is a booming segment. And overall, the IT space is doing good. And even like, I mean, post the Trump coming in, we are of the view that with the US economy, which is likely to do well in 2025, so the IT sector is one sector which will benefit of it, and cloud services is one area where a lot of potential is there, and this company is largely present in that space. So it's a promising space to be in. One can hold on, but partial profit booking is suggested given the kind of volatility that is there in the market. So it's better to free up a little capital and hold on to the rest.
Okay, got that. So there you have it, a view that has been shared. Let's take the next one then. This is Mr. Kamlesh Narkere. He says, Hi Sakshi. Hello, Mr. Narkere. How are you doing? His question is on the banking space. Canara Bank, RBL Bank, these are the kind of stocks that he's looking at, and he says मुझे long term के लिए buy करना है, तो क्या यहाँ पर buying level आप suggest कर सकते हैं? Canara Bank and RBL Bank, क्या ये बढ़िया stocks लगते हैं आपको long term के हिसाब से? Banking space में से इन दोनों में से कहीं पर भी buying level suggest कर पाएंगे?
Okay. See, I mean, from a long-term point of view, I would suggest Canara Bank. It's a high-quality stock compared to RBL, and over the last few years, the kind of cleanup they have done in their balance sheet and the asset quality, which has improved, is really commendable. But having said that, over next 1 year, there'll be some sort of moderation in the growth for the mid-sized banks. So it's better to stick with large cap banks. But if you have a long horizon in terms of, say, 2 years, 3 years kind of horizon, then you can hold on to Canara Bank. Otherwise, from a less than a year perspective, it's better to stick to HDFC, ICICI, or SBI Bank.
Okay, got that. So there you have it, a view that's coming in on both the banks. I hope this has answered your question. Let's take the next one then. This one is again from our WhatsApp number. We've got Hitesh Kumar from Gujarat writing in. He says, क्या मैं अभी निफ्टी का फ्यूचर बाय करूं? ओके, हितेश जी आज हमारे साथ फंडामेंटल एक्सपर्ट हैं, तो हम टेक्निकल राय तो यहाँ पर नहीं दे पाएंगे आपको. अभी देखते हैं कि हमारे जो नेक्स्ट गेस्ट है क्या आपकी क्वेरी को एड्रेस कर सकते हैं. We'll take the next question. In any case, we have Ankur Modi saying, Hi Sakshi, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Ankur, as well. Hope you're doing fine. Very good. Thank you so much, Ankur, for asking. Well, he says, could you please give me a view on Stanley Lifestyle and Unicommerce eSolutions? Both these companies are recently listed stocks. Stanley Lifestyle is into a luxury furniture space, and we do know that Unicommerce eSolutions is a very unique blend of commerce as well as SaaS platform. What would you say on these? Have you tracked and studied any of these recently listed IPOs?
I'm sorry, Sakshi, we haven't got a chance to look at these, so I'll avoid this question.
Okay, Ankur, we'll take your question with our next guest, so hold on for that. We'll take Satya's question now. Satya says, Hi Sakshi, I'm interested in accumulating Nesco, and the second one that I've chosen for myself is Shalby Hospitals for next 1 to 2 years. Please, could you ask the funder guest if Nesco and Shalby are good for long-term fundamental bets? Have you tracked these stocks at all, Sneha?
Okay, I have tracked both the stocks, and I mean, I would suggest Shalby is one stock which, the viewer can accumulate, because, Shalby is into promising a hospital space which is really doing well, and with the kind of lifestyle changes that people are experiencing, so the demand for hospitals have increased tremendously, and especially for the niche spaces. So, and given the kind of the expansion plans that Shalby has planned for itself, I mean, it is actually moving beyond the western region. So, Shalby offers good potential over the next few years. So, that is one stock which I can recommend from a long-term perspective.
Okay, got that. I hope Satya this has answered your question right there on the long-term fundamental outlook on the stock that you've asked. Let's take the next one. This is from Mr. Chandrahas. He says, "Hi Sakshi, I want to know a view on Indraprastha Gas. Is it the right time to invest on this one?" And the second one that I want to know on is JK Tire. Okay, we'll address it one by one since both of these stocks are absolutely from different categories. IGL, of course, today is up by about 4 odd percent. Some kind of relief pouring in, and the sentiment around oil and gas also improving. But in the recent past, we've actually seen a lot of regulations that impacted the stock prices. What would you say on IGL right now? Is the going to be strong?
See, I would say, I mean, like, given the kind of regulatory changes that we have witnessed, the stock price, I mean, the stock is available at very attractive valuations. There's no doubt about it. But then still, somehow the clouds haven't really cleared over it. And this might be a short-term bounce that we are witnessing. I would really suggest to stay away from this, counter. And if you're already holding it, then try to sell it on rise and exit. Probably I mean, over the next few days, the viewer can exit and actually move to some safer stock. And coming to the next question, which was JK Tire. So JK Tire is a good stock which can be held on from a long-term perspective. The tire industry currently is not really doing that well because the demand from the auto segment has slowed down a little. I mean, it has moderated a little. So in the near term, they're largely relying more on the replacement demand. But having said that, from a medium to long-term perspective, the demand is expected to bounce back. And given the kind of lower raw material prices, stock is likely to witness good growth momentum in the near future.
Okay, got that. I hope this has answered your question, Ms. Chandrahas. We'll take the next question, and this is from a caller who's with us on the phone line from West Bengal. We have Naman Deora from Kolkata dialing in. Hi, Naman. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon and New Year to you.
Thank you so much for the New Year wishes. I wish you and your loved ones also a fantastic 2025. Tell me, Naman, क्या सवाल है आपका?
Uh, I had a query on two stocks. One is
Okay.
Laurus Labs,
Hmm.
holding 100 shares at around 615,
Okay.
and another one is Power Grid,
Okay.
holding 200 shares at around 317.
Okay. For next short term, you want to buy 3 to 6 months odd?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, the time horizon is pretty small right there, Sneha, for the two stocks that he's asked. One is Laurus Labs. Now, he already has the stock. His average price is 615. It slipped below his purchase price. And the second one is Power Grid that he bought at 317 as an average price. He holds about 200 shares for this one also. For both these stocks, next 3 to 6 months, how do you see them panning out?
Okay. So first, Loris Labs, it is expected to do well. So this he can actually wait, and probably his price should definitely come, and he can probably make some profit. Because we have already seen that Loris Labs has started reporting good numbers over last few quarters, and Q3 is expected to be good for them. So there were a couple of products which were there in the making, and now they are ready to be commercialized, and from there the company is expected to generate good revenue. So Lawrence, we are quite positive from the near term perspective as well. Power grid, in the near term, probably it might not really do well, because since the winters are going on, the demand is somewhat a little bleak. But so near term, pressure might be there. Probably near budget, the stock might witness some momentum, given the buzz around the investments that the government has plans for in the power sector. But the long term picture is very clear, that the government wants to make a clear large investment in the power sector, and power grid will be one of the bigger beneficiary. So if he can hold on to the stock from a long term perspective, perspective, he will definitely reap benefits. But in the near term, because of the slight weakness in the demand, the stock might not really perform.
Okay, got that. I hope this has clearly given you an idea of how to go about both these stocks right there. Let's take the next one then. We will take Mr. Rakesh Singhal's question, and this is on AFCONs. Okay, his question is just, could you share an outlook on AFCONs? Let's look at the current price of AFCONs Infra. The current price is 566. It's shot up pretty smartly in trade today. Afcons Infra with huge volumes in just the last half an hour odd or so. The stock has been also in an up and about space because of the order inflows that the company has been getting as well. Your sense on Afcons, have you been tracking it since the IPO?
I've just looked at it during the IPO time. I mean, so what I remember from it, the company is quite good. And now, since that the capex theme is again expected to get revived post budget, so the companies will start receiving the order flows, which had actually kind of taken a back foot over the last 6 months. So now the momentum is expected to build up, and given that the company has decent financials and decent size that they have, probably the viewer can hold on to it, but yeah, we don't have a very clear view on the company.
Okay, got that. We'll probably get you another view on this one as well. We will now take the next question. This is from Vinita Gupta. She says, could you please ask the levels to enter Just Dial at the current levels? Are you tracking Just Dial at all, Sneha? And do you think this is the right time to look at this stock again?
Okay, so yes, just as we do look at it, and so levels are really good. I mean, it has corrected quite much, and the valuations have turned
Yeah.
pretty attractive.
Hmm.
So probably one can, but I mean, it really depends upon the kind of horizon. Probably from a short-term perspective, one can look at some sort of bounce, but uh, I mean, it's a good stock to be accumulated from a long-term perspective, and especially the kind of the SME space is really buzzing, and with the kind of opportunity that it provides to the overall SME space to list themselves over here. So it's a good opportunity for the overall, and when the economy is in a booming stage, such companies they tend to benefit from the overall boom in the small and mid cap space. So I would suggest one can actually look at entering at these levels and hold on from a long term perspective.
Got it. Okay, so I hope this has made you clear as to how should you be approaching this one at this current stage in time as well. We'll take the next question. This is from our WhatsApp number again that we've got from Bangalore. Mr. Subramanian Kodvanji has written in. He says, "Hi Sakshi, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for your warm wishes. Happy New Year to you and to your family members at large as well. May you continue to go strong in your investment journey in 2025. He says, could you please ask on Adani Ports from the guest? His buying price is 1412 and he has 150 shares. He currently has about a 3-year time horizon. Now he wants to know whether he should stick around or what should exactly his strategy be. Again, we have been seeing some bounces here and there in the Adani Group stocks, but again, it's still lower than the purchase price because most of the investors got invested in this space at higher levels. What would you say currently on Adani Ports?
See, I would suggest to hold on to the stock. I mean, see, Adani Ports is one of the largest port companies in India, and they have got very good presence both on the western and the eastern, coastal line, and they have got a good diversified, the cargo mix that they handle. So the company is investing very heavily in the overall port business, which will drive the overall growth for the company in the near future. So the kind of volumes that they handle is also is continuously showing improvement in the overall growth perspective. So with the kind of expansions that they have, keeping that in mind, and the existing portfolio that they have and the market share. So obviously, like, this company will emerge as a winner. It's just because, like, because of the certain news here and there related to the Adani groups, that the stock tends to come down. But it's a good stock to actually, like, keep in the portfolio.
Okay, good stock to keep in the long-term portfolio. There you have it. We have now a caller with us, so let's quickly get talking. Piyush has dialed in from Delhi. Hi Piyush, good afternoon. How are you? Happy New Year.
Hello, hi, good afternoon. I'm very good, ma'am. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you so
So,
much.
I have a question on Jindal Saw and Ratnavir. I'm holding Jindal Saw 100 shares at 315, and Ratnavir is in at 260, around 100 shares.
Okay, got that. So both have slipped below your purchase price. Let's ask if Sneha tracks any of these. Jindal saw he's bought it at 313. It slipped lower. And Ratnavir he bought it at 262 and that also is currently trading at 194. Any of these stocks would you be able to advise? What strategy should Piyush be adopting now?
Jindal Sand, what was the other name?
Ratnavir Precision.
Okay. Jindal Saw, I would suggest to actually, probably he can adopt a sell on rise kind of a strategy, but somehow that space is not really doing well. I mean, it's in two large pipes which are used in the, by the oil and gas industry and all. But the demand over there is quite bleak for last, a year or so. It has been quite weak, and the management commentary so far has not been very encouraging to actually, change the view that the future might look good for them. So probably once the the overall capex revival is seen, the theme might come back in the future. But as of now, I mean, I really don't see any positive triggers emerging from this space.
Okay, got
And the
that.
second one, I really don't have a view on it.
Okay, got that. Okay. We'll take the next question then. This one is from Adarsh. He says, I need a long term view on Kalyan Jewelers. Okay, we'll get you a view here. Again, the gems and the jewelry space has been on the buzz of late also. Your sense on Kalyan Jewelers, is it a good spot to be in?
Yes, we are quite positive on Kalyan Jewelers. I mean, the company is witnessing very strong growth, and this is largely because the kind of store expansion that they have done and the pipeline which they have built in. So that is quite strong, and they're largely going through the franchisee model, and they're focusing more on the the current the demand is there more for the studded kind of jewelries, and that is what is the main focus area is. So, keeping that the demand is very strong in the studded jewelry segment, and with the rapid expansion that they have in mind, and plus the kind of wedding season which we are witnessing. So, this time the dates are 30% higher compared to last year. So, a strong festive as well as wedding demand we are witnessing this time. So, the company is expected to do really well, and they are now expanding even in the foreign lands. So, they are building a strong presence in the Middle East market. So all these strategies will drive the long term growth for the company, and thus we're quite positive on Kalyan Jewelers, and that can be held on both from the short term and the long term perspective.
ओके गॉट दैट चलिए यहाँ पर भी आपको राय मिल चुकी है विल टेक द नेक्स्ट वन this question is from Mr. Tekpal Bhatia. He says, could you please help me understand the current scenario on JSW Energy? Again, we've actually been seeing this JSW group see some re-rating of sort across the board, be it JSW Infra, Saw you just talk about Jindal Saw, and then of course when we talk about JSW Energy as well. Particularly on JSW Energy, there has been a lot of news developments too. Do you think this is an interesting one to watch out?
Yes, JSW Energy is quite interesting. In fact, recently they made acquisitions, which was
Yes.
made at a quite lower valuation. So basically they acquired the companies at about 7 times EV by EBITDA, and which is quite low when we compare it to the listed renewable energy companies. So that acquisition is quite interesting. Plus, that acquisition will play a very important role because it's a good strategic fit in their entire portfolio. So what we're expecting that it will actually unlock about 60 rupees per share for the investors, and it can generate a good cash flow for the company in the future. And plus, I mean, like, as I mentioned earlier also, given the kind of structural change that is happening in the overall power sector, so the sector will be in a buzz over next few years, and JSW Energy is one of the good stocks to be to play out the power theme.
Okay, got that. I hope this has also answered your question. Okay, next we will take another question, and this one is from Avnish Chaudhary. He says, hello Sakshi, I want to know on Irida. I have bought the stock at 280 levels, and the other one is PC Jewelers, where I have invested at 18 levels. Would you be able to advise on these two stocks? Okay, Irida first we will take. Today there is a sharp spike. Just in the last few minutes we've seen that 2.5% higher on this one. It's shot up at 227, but this stock has been hovering in a range bound trade for a long time, and 280 has definitely been looking elusive for those who got that entry point at the highest level or near the peak. Your sense here, Sneha?
Okay, so IRDA reported, in fact, the monthly numbers that they reported for December was quite good. So that's why, like, we seeing some sort of bounce. And having said that, I mean, uh, uh, the company is very good. I mean, it's into the financing of the renewable energy space. Overall, like, the financials are quite healthy. The only concern with the stock was its valuation, which got corrected a little with the stock price correcting. So one can enter this company and ride onto the rally. So IRDA we are quite positive on. PC Jewelers, I would say it's better to avoid because we're not really comfortable with the overall corporate governance and the quality of the company. So PC Jewelers will be avoid. I would rather suggest to actually shift to Kalyan Jewelers or PN Gadgil, which are more promising mid-size jewelry companies, and have got very good expansion plans and healthy financials.
Got it. We'll take the last question now with you, Sneha, and this one is from Raj from Bengaluru. He says he's holding 50 shares of Aditya Birla Capital and his purchase level is 195. He wants to know, can I accumulate now at the current levels also more shares of AB Capital, or should I exit my position? I have a long-term view here.
Okay. So if he has a long-term view, he can definitely hold on to the stock. The company actually reported very good numbers in the second quarter, wherein we saw improved performance across its segment. Uh, currently the NBFC sector overall is not seeing much of momentum. But having said that, the company, I mean, company was an outlier when we compare it to the to its peers, and the kind of discipline approach that they have towards the asset quality that will really help them in the long term. And their housing business is doing quite decent compared to the other companies, which along with the the insurance space and the asset management, the company is comparatively much better off when we compare to the other peers in the NBFC space. So Aditya Birla, one can actually hold on from a long term perspective because their MC business is a cash cow business, and NBFC space also, they are doing it with a much disciplined approach, so that will scale up quite good in the future.
Okay, got that. Well, we will thank you, Sneha, then for being with us on this special edition to guide all our viewers through. And here's wishing you once again a fabulous time in 2025. And may you continue to come more often on the channel to guide all our viewers of Daily Calls. Thank you so much for being with us on this one.
Thank you, Sakshi.
All right, viewers, what we'll do is we'll now get talking with another special guest who is joining in, a favorite on daily calls. Mr. Kranti Batini returns. He's the Director of Research of Wealth Mill Securities on this special edition. Mr. Batini, warm welcome. Thank you so much for joining in and wish you a very happy new year. And may this year turn out to be a fabulous one, the best one yet for you and for your loved ones as well as your team at Wealth Mills. And may you continue to guide and keep sharing all the wisdom on stock markets with all our viewers. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Sashi, for those kind words. And first of all, for you and your team at BTTV and the viewers, a very happy, prosperous new year to you all. And God bless during this year. And may this year going to be a prosperous year for everyone in equity markets.
Thank you so much for these warm wishes, Mr. Batini. We'll start taking the questions that are coming in, and in the interim, I will keep asking you how are you approaching in the new year the markets as well. We have some questions pouring in, so we will take some of those questions. First up, we have a question coming in from Francis, and he says, could you please give me a view about Suzlon? I want to enter into this stock afresh. Is it the right time and the right stock to enter in? Okay, we've actually seen in 2024 Suzlon give a handsome returns to investors, but those investors who actually got an entry at the peak of 2024 around 80 odd levels, they are now feeling stuck, sir. The stock is corrected about 60, 61 odd is the current levels. Do you think for the long term investors this is a right time to look at Suzlon?
Such two ways we need to look at Switzerland. One thing is those people who entered at the lower end of the Switzerland, around 5 rupees, 10 rupees, or 20 rupees, 30 rupees, they would have made fabulous money. One thing is what's so kind for Switzerland is the sectoral tailwinds. There is a greater emphasis towards the alternative energy, green energy, and wind energy is concerned. That has been helping Switzerland, and the company could be able to reduce debt. But still, some kind of lingering corporate governance issues still prop up in this counter, always in this company. So, if the investor have a high risk appetite, he can get into this in this range, or he can try to accumulate the stock at dips. Until unless he's not a high risk appetite investor, there are many better good quality companies are available in the markets at this point of time at a decent valuation. What happens, Sashi, whenever this stock goes above 85, 86,000 level, the market cap of this company is hitting around 1 lakh crores. For these kind of revenues, whether this company deserves 1 lakh crore market cap is the greater question. But the sectoral tailwinds is definitely helping this company.
Okay, got that. I hope this has given you a broader understanding of how the stock is placed at the current levels as well as what are the sector trends going on, Francis. We'll take the next one. This is from Rajiv Sanwal. He wants to take a fresh entry in Sare Gama. Would you advise that? Let us again pull up the stock of Sare Gama. To see how the stock has moved. Today it's up by sharp 7% odd. In the last year-to-date levels, again the move has been largely seen in January itself. Large part of the move has come in from just about today, or like yesterday it started off, but there haven't been any cool returns in the year to date. Of course, in the last 1 year, the stock has gone up about 36.5% odd. What would you really say on Saregama, sir?
In terms of the short term is concerned, Sakshi, the stock can deliver 10 to 15% returns from this level also. With respect to the serious investing is concerned, the stock is fully priced in at this point of time. So any sharp declines only one can get into names for any kind of serious investing. With respect to some kind of trading in the medium to short term, one can take the entry for these stocks. Still, the business is going at a good pace, but further momentum need to be picked up in this counter with respect to the earnings are concerned. It's a decent stock, but fully priced in at this point of time.
Okay, got that. I hope this has answered your question too. We have from Trishur, Satya writing in, he says he wants to know on some of the auto stocks like TVS Motors, he already has, but he wants to know whether he should switch No, actually, he wants to know he has Rico Auto in his portfolio. Whether he should switch to TVS Motors is what his question is, and what is how is TVS Motor looking at the current level, sir? 2476. This one is mildly down in trade today.
As for TVS Motors is concerned, actually, it's one of the best outperformer. And if I have to compare TVS Motors last 10 years performance, fabulous performance from TVS Motors. The short term looks a little bit volatile. The OEMs and the two wheelers are concerned, especially. I always look for 5 years and 10 years kind of performance. In terms of the 10 years performance, when you compare any other two-wheeler stocks are concerned in the market, TVS delivered fabulous returns with respect to their good product proposition and also the current EV4A. We need to see how it's going to pan out. Uh, Shifting from a automobiles component to OEM, it is just like going from a lemon to an orange kind of a comparison uh, uh, for the investor. But I advocate the investor, if he have any money, he can invest in TVS Motors in a very staggered manner. Most probably, he can invest TVS Motors just like a monthly systematic investment stock
Sure.
buying kind of thing. He can implement. Raiko
Sure.
Autos, he can hold on for some more time.
Okay, got that. So I hope this has answered your question. TVS Motors for long term, a staggered fashion is what you should look at. And we have a question coming in from Ramu from Hyderabad. He says, my query is on Exicom. In my portfolio, I have bought this stock at the rate of 373. Okay, and he's been looking at sharp losses. This stock has been actually on a downward trend since about July. It's been on a downward trend, and the stock is now hovering around 254 odd levels. Would you have any view on Exicom, sir?
Sakshi, with respect to Excom is concerned, the company is into uh, electric EV infrastructure. That is the main line of business. And the company has been doing some kind of acquisitions in the past one quarter also. September quarter result seems to be a little bit disappointing. That's where the entire pressure on the stock got created. But we need to look at Excom at a very futuristic view. It should not be compared with just a couple of quarters performance because the EV infrastructure has to get developed in India. And in the next couple of years, there are around a couple of $1 billion of capex. It comes to around 30,000 crores of capex is going to happen in EV infrastructure is concerned, that is the charging stations and all. So Exxon is a company is going to get benefited in this entire infrastructure theme is concerned. And also last one quarter or last few months, we can see some kind of subdued sales of electric two-wheeler, uh, four-wheelers are concerned. That also impacting the company. You can hold on to this company, okay, for a longer term perspective. Of course, medium term, the stock is going through a downtrend. But we can once the capex cycle revives and the EV sales go up, these kind of companies are going to get benefited.
Okay, got that. So I hope this has answered your question as well. Let's take another one. This is from Ankur. He wants to know on Aarti Industries. He has 90 shares at the rate of 823. He's sitting on a 50% loss. So now he wants to know whether it is advisable to average out at the current levels on this one. How is the company's business and fundamentals? Aarti Industries, 421 currently, sir.
If I have to analyze the business of Bharti Industries on a longer term perspective, the company has delivered very well. It rewarded the shareholders. But in a medium to short term, past 1.5 year, all the chemical companies and specialty chemicals have been going to a rough patch. Most probably, this range, this kind of pressure is going to continue in the next couple of quarters also. But the current quarter results are extremely crucial for names like Aarti Industries and many of the specialty chemicals are concerned. So he can hold on to the company, of course, despite the biggest problem is he entered at the higher end of the market. That's where the entire 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 losses are occurred to his portfolio. So he can hold on. most probably after this quarterly results, looking at the management guidance, he can try to average this company for a longer term perspective.
Okay, got that. Let's take the next one. This question is from Momita from Kolkata. She wants to know, is it the right time to enter Adani Enterprises for next 1 year? Is it a good stock to hold? Again, this year has been full of volatility because of the news flows around the space. What is your suggestion right now, sir, on Adani Enterprises?
Sakshi, price changes the perception of the people. And also, just look at when the recent the U.S. News that erupted on allegations of the recent orders by U.S. Courts and all. When the news came, the stock was under pressure. But from there onwards, the stock price could able to sustain. And also, recent positive reports of for giving the target price to Adani Enterprises more than 3,000. The stock is in a positive territory. Greater emphasis is given towards its ports, airports business, and also data center business is concerned. If the investor have a high risk appetite and ready to accept the volatility and take the volatility, any dip on Adani Enterprises one can add for a medium to longer term perspective.
Okay. Let's take the next one then. This is from Rishikesh. He says, hi Sakshi, I hold some railway stocks in my portfolio. IRFC, RVNL, IRCON, Titagarh and JWL. And I want to add some more. So should I keep on adding or should I wait? All right. So that's quite a handful of the railway stocks in his portfolio. Is it advisable to really go big on railways, having all the stocks within the basket in the portfolio? Or what exactly should be the right strategy? I understand there are a lot of investors who want to take pre-budget positions because we usually see a lot of buzz around railways during the budget. But is it advisable to have so many stocks in a portfolio which is from concentrated in railways portfolio?
One thing is that if the sector is an uptrend,
Yeah.
one can add. It also depends upon the risk appetite and also the time horizon. And if the investors are could able to uh, uh, buy when the prices of any sectorial stocks comes down, that's also important question. If they are fit and if they're in this checklist, if they're okay for all these events, they are ready, then uh, they can take some risk because we do experiment at the same kind of things and bought many of the railway stocks in the bottom when the sector is taking a positivity. So it paid us well for our investors. So at this point of time, the valuations in a medium to short term, they're a little bit stretched, subject to each and every stock because the names what the investor have mentioned seems to be good. So at any dips, given the kind of the long-term outlook for railway stocks, railway as a sector, railway infrastructure as a sector, and also earning visibility is concerned, one can add at dips in the names what you mentioned.
Okay, got that. Let's take the next one then. Rajiv Jayaram wants to know why Cyient falling. Is it good to buy the stock at the current levels? Okay, within the IT pack, the question comes in on Cyient, sir. What's your own view on this one from the IT pack?
The science is concerned, Sakshi. Uh, the stock had the stock corrected from 2,100 level to currently at below 1,800 levels. Uh, the stock is in a consolidation, and also this year has been a roller coaster ride for names like Scient, uh, uh, despite of the decent decent quarterly earnings. I just wait for the next couple of months how the U.S. economy and the entire IT pack is going to be. At this point of time, one can hold on to the stock, fresh entry, post results, one can make any kind of fresh entries.
Okay, got that. Let's take the next one. Then this is Kalpesh Patel. He's from Mumbai. He's calling, he's on the phone line with us. Hi Kalpesh, good afternoon. कैसे हैं आप? नए वर्ष की स्वागत शुभकामनाएं आपको. आज क्या जानना चाहेंगे?
मैं एकदम बढ़िया हूँ मैंने एक चीज आईटी पे व्यू जानना चाहता हूँ कि जो अपना जो डॉलर है वो अभी लास्ट टाइम हाई के ऊपर चल रहा है 85 के चल रहा है और 30 तारीख को डॉलर आने वाले तो वो क्या जिस हिसाब से अभी से आईटी के करेक्शन हो रहा है हाई से काफी तो ये वाला वो कल ट्वीट कर दे कि तुम ये अपना निफ्टी आईटी की स्टॉक वो 5-10 टका ऐसे टूट जाते हैं, तो क्या उसी दर से ये निफ्टी आईटी कितना टूट रहा है? और निफ्टी आईटी पे भी जानना चाहता हूँ।
आईटी के ऊपर. Okay, Kranti ji, on IT sector, what's you were talking about Cyient any which ways, but what's your overall view on IT sector?
Exactly, with respect to IT sector is concerned, U.S. economy is going from strength to strength, and with the new president, Mr. Trump at President Trump at White House, the kind of reforms and the kind of business friendly measures he's taking, definitely it will help the Indian IT companies on a medium to longer term, definitely. So, of course, there is a kind of news flow that do comes on H1B visas and all, but despite of the negativity on the market, I'm cautiously optimistic with respect to Indian IT companies on a medium to longer term perspective. So, any dip on Indian IT company, one can add these companies for a medium to longer term perspective.
Okay, got that. I hope this has answered your question. Next up, Priyanka wants to know, can I take a fresh entry in GSFC? Again, fertilizer space is also in the buzz ahead of the budget, sir. Especially on GSFC, what is your own view? Today it's up by 1.5%. Volumes are also decent, 206 odd levels currently for this one.
With respect to GSFC is concerned, of course, some kind of pre-budget rally with respect to some kind of announcements that may help uh, the fertilizer stock. For a medium to short term, one can add these stocks, but one need to have a strict stop loss also if they're trading in these companies. But I treat these companies, Sakshi, for a event only, not for a serious investments uh, for a longer term, just for a whenever there are event that do comes. But names like FACT and all, they remains very looks attractive. And one of the outperformers for these companies. The relative valuations of these companies are looks very attractive. One can try to add for a medium to short term just for trading.
Okay, got that. I hope this has answered your question too. Let's take the next question. This one is from Mr. Sai Reddy. He says, I have Epigral 100 shares at 1740. What is your view on it? Is it good to hold for next 6 to 12 months? Any view on Epigral, sir?
Sakshi, I don't track this company.
Okay, okay. Any which ways, we'll take the last question then. This is from Mr. Chandrahas. He wants to know on KPIT Tech. Again from the IT pack. So I think everybody is going big on this one. What would you say on this?
Which one, Sakshi?
KPIT Tech. KPIT Tech.
Yeah, KPIT. KPIT has been, Sakshi, if you remember, we used to discuss with the stock around 200 rupees, how the stock have performed and given the multi-bagger returns to the investors. Definitely, with the given the focus about the auto technologies are concerned, definitely any dip for KPIT is a long-term buy, but one need to have the expectations to be uh, moderate at this point of time. The stock can still deliver 15 to 20% from this range also.
Okay, got that. Right, we will wrap it up at that note then, Mr. Batini. Thank you so much for guiding all our viewers and answering their queries patiently in today's trading session. And here's hoping that we see you more often on daily calls so that our viewers can get all the insights on the markets from you. Hope you have a fantastic one again, and we will continue to see you more often. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sachi.
All right, viewers, we'll wrap it up on that note as far as Daily Calls edition is concerned. In case there were some questions that we could not take up today, we can definitely answer them in our next edition that will be on Monday. So stay tuned. There'll be a lot more opportunities for you to get your queries answered from top market experts. And continue to watch out for more shows that will be up next for you on the channel. And there are many interesting market masters interviews that we've taken as far as your own strategies for 2025 should be. So don't miss out on those specific and interesting, fascinating conversations that we've had on the channel as well. Stay tuned.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Market Today. The last 1 hour of trade on Friday, which is also the last working day of this week, is bathed in green. The Nifty is up 92 points. The battle for supremacy between the bulls and the bears is at 23,850 today. The NSE 500, the broadest index that we track, is up 61 points, showing you a lot of enthusiasm for the broader market on the long side. The Nifty Bank added 144 and the IT index is up 64 points. In the wider space of the Lal Street, you see hectic momentum as far as bulls are concerned. You'll notice that the advanced decline ratio at the moment is 1380 shares versus 1000 that are in the red. We tracked 19 indices for you out of 19, 16 in the green